Hartzell is our new head coach, only the second head coach in Ice Wolves history. Phil Fox was our guy for the first 5 years of this organization being around. He went back to his alma mater with Northern Michigan University. He was an assistant coach up there, so congrats to him. But we're excited with Kevin Hartzell. He has a lot of experience and a lot of high praise in the hockey world. He's coached in the USHL for a number of years. Some say he's even a top 10 coach all time. So a very exciting start to the season. The guys are on the ice right now getting ready. And I'm excited. I don't even quite know what to expect. I'm going into my fifth season with the team, and all I've known is Phil Fox hockey. So
right.
I get to Kevin Hartzell hockey, and it's going to be a blast.
No, and it will be. And for people who don't know the NAHL and what it is, and so this is junior hockey, and it's high-level hockey. It's young men who are going to go on to play for your university hockey, or going to go play pro hockey. So explain for people who are still trying to figure it out maybe a little bit, or maybe brand new to it, what the level is and what kind of hockey they see. Because I'm just going to tell you, I used to cover junior hockey a lot in the Western League, the Western Hockey League of the CHL, and this brand of hockey is really, really good.
Yeah, so these kids are usually out of high school. They're trying to get a college scholarship. The dream is to play Division I. So these kids are not paid at all. So they are purely driven just for that college scholarship to advance their hopeful career in hockey. If not, just get to a good school. You can get a good degree as well. Quality of hockey is always up there. The South Division, which is the division where they call it the Dirty South. We've won the last 2 Robertson Cups. We were just in the Final Four 3 years ago. The Ice Wolves were. So there's high expectations here. And like I said, these kids are so driven just to get that college scholarship. They love the fans. There's even a skate with the players after the game on Sunday. Yeah. So if you don't know the guys at all, which most of the fans don't because we have a new crop like you mentioned, there's a great chance to come meet all of the players. You'll see the coaches. You'll see me walking around here. I'm always happy to talk to anybody. But, yeah, just the quality of hockey is high. The Corpus Christi Ice Rays, like you mentioned, 1-0 already. They beat a very good Shreveport Mudbugs team last week. That's always a top force in the South Division. So it'll be a high-quality hockey game this weekend for sure.
He is Jason Thomas, the voice of the Ice Wolves. He's with us on the Sports Animal.
Jason, you talk about the turnover. What's it like for you getting to know this team and then getting a chance to grow with them early in the season as you figure out their style of play and who's going to really pop?
It's my favorite part of my job. Everybody's like, oh, you have the best job ever. And it's really the behind-the-scenes part. Getting to know these guys personally. They've had training camp for the last 3 or 4 weeks, so I've gotten to get to know them personally, and now I get to see their play on the ice. And it goes for the whole staff here. Anytime somebody gets that college commitment, it's a big deal. Everybody is incredibly proud of the kid. It doesn't matter where you go. We've had several guys go to the University of Maine, University of Massachusetts Lowell, Northern Michigan. They go all over the place. University of Alaska Anchorage. So it's always a big deal. And you know what? Even when we have to cut players or they get traded away, it's always a little bit of a gray day at the rink just because you build bonds with these players. Yep. But that's what makes it so special.
All right, Ice Wolves and Ice Rays. This is I don't know if you recall this. People have probably told you about this. This is kind of has an old WPHL Central Hockey League feel to it. When the Scorpions were here, a lot of the teams in your league carry those familiar Shreveport Mudbugs, the Ice Rays. There's a lot of you see a lot of different jerseys when you hang around your rink. I saw Scorpions jerseys. There's a lot of different jerseys. Hockey is such a game that's bringing everybody together, and I think there's people that have just been jonesing for it from everywhere, but certainly from those hockey, and I use the air quotes on that, regions.
Yeah, definitely. And, I'm not from New Mexico at all. I'm from Dallas, Texas. So I had the same reaction a lot of people do outside of the city and outside of the state. Albuquerque, New Mexico for hockey.
It's awesome.
I don't even know where that exactly is. And then you get out here and you just see the connection that the team has with the fans, and then the fans are very knowledgeable about those CHL days with the Scorpions and everything. And I grew up with the Allen Americans. They were in the CHL, so a lot of the teams that we're playing were division rivals of the team I grew up cheering for. So it's a lot of fun, and I'm really impressed with the hockey knowledge that is out here in New Mexico. And I'm really lucky to be out here, honestly, guys. Like, I love this place, and I love talking hockey with New Mexicans. It is the highlight of my life.
Yeah, out here is not that far, man. We're right here. We're not that far out. Like, you were just next door. You're home. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like we got running water and cable TV and everything. We got hockey. It's a good spot that you've realized that he is the voice of the Ice Wolves, and he's Jason Thomas. All right, what do you got going this weekend? You still have tickets? Can people still get out for opening weekend?
Yes. So we have games tonight, tomorrow night, both at 6:30 p.m. and Sunday's game is at 2 p.m. Tickets are available. You can go to the website that you mentioned. The direct website is tickets.nmicewolves.com. They're as cheap as $15 for our bleacher seats, all the way up to $27.50. So it's affordable. When I was growing up, if I found a $15 hockey ticket, I was drooling over that opportunity.
Yeah.
So it's affordable. There's seats available, and it's the start of the season. So why not get on the bandwagon in game number 1 and be with us for game number 60 and then into the playoffs.
Yeah, and I looked through the roster, and you got guys from everywhere. And I know what Stan Hubbard's done, the owner of this team, and he bought the rink, and he has made it a terrific home ice advantage and really a great venue, not only for the Ice Wolves, but for youth hockey as well. And I see Stanley on the roster, and you've got a young man from Albuquerque, New Mexico, 6'6", 220 pounds. And it's been a minute probably since they've had a local guy to cheer for, huh?
You're exactly correct. Stanley Hubbard is the first Albuquerque native to play on an NAHL team here in New Mexico.
It's a big deal.
Big deal. We're very excited about that. And, we have a couple coming up from youth hockey trying to make the NA3HL team that will pipe directly into this NAHL team. So we hope that Stanley Hubbard is the first of many Albuquerque natives to make this team, but Stanley is the first and is definitely one of the key points and key things to watch this weekend.
How many countries you got represented? I think when I was out there last year, I think you had like 7 different country flags over in that corner representing players on your club.
I just counted. We're up to 9 now.
That's so cool.
We have Finland, we have Norway, we have Sweden. We had a Canadian for a little bit, and then a lot of Americans as well. You can only have so many imports from different countries.
Imports, because then you put a tariff on them.
Say that one more time.
Then you have to put a tariff on the player. I'm kidding.
Oh, no. I mean, I can't confirm or deny.
Yeah. All right, get over to the website. It's nmicewolves.com. We'll check in with you and get some players on throughout the season, man. But appreciate you spending some time with us. He's the voice of the Ice Wolves. He's Jason Thomas. Where can they find you, watch the game, listen to you?
You can watch the game on NAHLTV.com. It's a subscription-based only. That's the only way you can watch it and listen to me. I recommend getting out to the game, though, when we're at home. We have a home weekend this weekend, and then we're on the road for the next 5 weekends. So we will not be playing another home game until the beginning of November.
All right. Enjoy it. Appreciate the conversation.
Thank you,
Happy opening night.
Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you guys.
Be well. He is Jason Thomas. You can only have so many imports, JJ, before we start. We're going to put a tariff on it. People are going to pay.
Taxes.
Yeah, taxes. Look, man, if you like hockey at all, and you and I are both hockey people, like we love it. I'm just telling you, the product's really good. It's the venue's terrific. It's super small, and it's intimate, and you are right on it. And the fans, their fans are rabid. They love this stuff, and I think you will too. So go out and enjoy it. All right, well, I'm going to reset at the top when we get back. Well, I'm going to reset the top when we get back. 505-246-0610. I got a lot of correspondence from you that we got to get to. Emails Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com and JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. Getting you home on a Friday. We'll do 3 for All at the bottom of the hour, which is 9:30 on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sports shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. Our law firm was founded by my father, Thibaut J. Chavez, with one goal: to get New Mexicans the help they need. That's why we built a different kind of law firm. We focus on family values, dedicated service, and we make a real contribution by giving back to our communities. We can't change what happened to you or your loved ones, but we can help you get back on the road to recovery. We're by your side, and we're still as local as red and green.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in Autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Little hockey for you. Get a little footy. Got some soccer this weekend. Baseball with, how the Ohtani thing is just silly. Opening drive, Jeff Symbieta and BB Juck. Thanks for being here on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal. Ohtani goes 6 for 6 last night, 3 home runs, 10 RBI, and a 20-4 Dodger victory. 20-4. I think they covered the spread. Rams over the Chargers, over the Dolphins. He's now got 51 home runs and 51 stolen bases. First player in the history of the game. Go back to the history of this game that loves numbers. To have 50 or more homers and 50 or more stolen bases in a season. Never been done. We're having the conversation. One of the greatest single game offensive performances in the history of the game. 6 for 6, 10 RBI, 3 home run, 2 stolen bases, 17 total bases. And goes over those thresholds. I mean, I'm listening to other ones. I haven't seen every game ever played, but man, that's a pretty damn good one. 505-246-0610. Terry, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. What's up, Terry? You want me to, yeah, buttons hit. Shouldn't he be on? You're not there?
Special shout out to Cameron Blackwell. Started doing the CBS National Pickleball broadcast from OG visit to nationally on CBS. Good for her. Yeah. You guys started the way for her, so that's awesome. Got to take my lumps. Patriots, yeah, God, is the season over yet? Kind of like the Rockies. I'm like, geez, we're already 8 games out of first place. KU snatched defeat out of the hands of victory 2 weeks in a row. Props to UNLV. Good for them. Hopefully they go on a roll. Kind of sucks to lose your offensive coordinator. Things have gone astray. Shohei, yeah, I would say greatest single game ever. Just literally amazing. Just to bug JJ a little bit, I'm surprised somebody hasn't called in and just goes, hey, the bases are bigger. You can't do pickoffs anymore. I'm just being lighthearted.
Somebody did. We did get that because you have limited throws over. The bases are bigger. There is a clock that it is. What's the word you use? More conducive to stealing bases, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Somebody did.
But no, it's great. Now, the one thing, I maybe not a math major, but I don't know why they have to do it in level 10. Because to me, 51-51 is better than 50-50. But, I digress. I
but it's not as
finishes.
It's not as like wordsmithy. What's the word I'm looking for there?
Well, and that's why the only part I bring that in is which ball would be worth more valuable, the highest record or no?
It's a great question.
The 50-50 ball is better than a 51-50.
It's a great question. It's the final one or the one that hits that magic threshold. And I'm going to guess the one that hits the magic threshold because that's the poetic one, right? 54-54, okay, that's cute, but 50-50 is the threshold.
All right, so then, but if you get to 55-55, do we have to do 10s or would 5s count? Who knows? I just, that game is amazing. He's amazing. I still have Willie Mays as the greatest player I saw.
Okay.
But greatest season, yeah, it's in the conversation. It'd be fun. That's the good thing about baseball. You talk about it, and you match things up. Numbers are always important, and he is just amazing in what he can do physically and all that. So, I mean, whatever he's getting paid, he's underpaid. Of course, he's only taking a couple million this year.
$700 million.
He's worth unlimited money from that standpoint. Anybody who gets to see him in person, I think I'm jealous, but great from that. So you guys have a wonderful weekend. Take care. Be safe.
See you.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, what is it, $700 million, but it's all like deferred, so he's getting paid the rest of his life, and his people are.
Pretty good deal.
Yeah. Yeah, and the word is the Dodgers have recouped it all. Like, they recouped it all immediately. I mean, immediately. All the people who are coming and buying his stuff, coming to games just for him. I mean, $700 million. Like, wrap your head around that.
Okay.
But yeah. All right, Lobos and Fresno State tomorrow. Next week, it's the Aggies. Sarah says, I'm concerned about attendance. Aren't we all? If Lobo football loses next week, or if Lobo football loses, next week feels like the state championship at Jerry Kill Stadium, followed by another awkward bye week. By the time they return to University Stadium in a month, will anyone care, especially with a hyped Lobo basketball starting? So, Sarah, I think everybody's concerned about that. Yeah. I mean, if they lose this week and then lose the Aggies, then take a week off, then come home, yeah, it's gonna be rough.
It's over if they lose to New Mexico State. at that point in time, you can't keep selling that the offense is something. And
you get it better that there's something to look forward to. That's beyond a kind of got to win game. That's a must win next week. And it might be for both teams. Now, if the Aggies beat Sam Houston, I think the Aggies are in a better place. They'd be 2-2 at that point. They could afford a loss more than New Mexico, although I mean, afford's a relative term when it comes to that rivalry, right? But if the Lobos get beat this week, it kind of next week turns into a must-win game. Yeah, I think that's fair. JD, good morning. You want to talk some baseball? What's up? You're on the Sports Animal.
Good morning. I thought it was a great feat that Ohtani had pulled off, and that was a tremendous game. But I think how long is it going to last? Because how many years ago and who won the Triple Crown in baseball?
What was the last Triple Crown? Did someone win it since Ted Williams? Somebody did, right? Wasn't it a few years ago?
Yeah. But nobody remembers who that was.
Who was it, for crying out loud?
I can't remember. That's what made me think of it. I thought, man, that's up there with the Triple Crown season, and then I realized somebody had done it recently, but for the life of me, I can't think of who it was.
Why am I forgetting who it was?
Right. Exactly.
It was Miguel. It was Miguel Cabrera in 2012 with the Tigers.
So, what's more impressive? What Ohtani did in 50-50 or 51-51, whatever he does.
Right.
Or a Triple Crown.
So, I'm going to argue. Well, a Triple Crown's a moving number, right? So when Cabrera won it, he hit .330. He hit 44 home runs at 139 RBI. All right, so you could argue that the home run numbers in the rest of the league were down, and so it's a moving number, right? 50-50 is static. It's never been done. Well, that's a really fair conversation. I'm going to tell you, Triple Crown. I'm going to say Triple Crown. Now, that goes against what I was saying earlier, right? It breaks a record or hits a mark that hadn't been done since 1967. Yeah. Carl Yastrzemski was the last one to do it. And so that lasted for, 33 and 12 is 50 years 40, almost. Yeah.
But the fact that Ohtani could be pitching, and I don't know how much that would have affected his offensive numbers if he had been a regular fourth or fifth, right?
Yeah, we'll know next year.
I think if he had been pitching and he still put up those numbers, probably hands down one of the greatest seasons ever, if not the greatest season ever.
100%.
Let's say he even goes 7-8, right? Let's say he has a horrible pitching record, but he goes 7-8. He had 30 appearances, whatever, right?
Yep.
Still, that would be phenomenal.
Agree.
So,
Agree.
Anyway, just a thought, guys.
All right.
Appreciate it.
What do you think is more impressive, the Triple Crown or the 50-50?
Ooh, I like it.
Yeah, I do too.
This is what we were trying to discuss. What seasons would you put in the conversation to make you think? And Miguel Cabrera having a Triple Crown in this era deserves to be in there. And
for those of you who aren't familiar with the Triple Crown, it's when you win the batting title, the home run title, and the RBI title.
I would say this would edge the Triple Crown for me.
Okay. Well, I mean, I don't think I don't know that you're wrong. Why do you?
I just think it's it is rare to see this combination of power and stolen bases.
Yeah.
And even if it's a little bit easier, it's not like everyone's going to get 50. There might be 3 guys with 50 or more stolen bases this season.
Yeah, I'm struggling because I know I said earlier, something that's never been done is incredibly impressive. Something that's never been done 50-50 and wherever he lands. But the Triple Crown is a season of consistency, both power, clutch, and average. A Triple Crown is hitting for average. I mean, I'm looking at Triple Crowns. The lowest Triple Crown average I see is Frank Robinson in 66. He hit .316. But he had 49 home runs and drove in 122 runs. I think I want to lean Triple Crown. Doesn't mean this isn't insanely impressive. And I know the Triple Crown has been done, looks like, a bunch of times. It looks like about 15, 18 times. I get it. And this has never been done. I might lean the other way on that. That's a great question. You can get in on it, 505-246-0610. When we come back, JJ and I are going to do the 3-for-all. Show you how bad we are betting football, although I had a good week last week. We'll do that next. Hey, if you've been the victim of property crime or know someone who's been the victim of a property crime, You know all too well it takes too long for police to respond. They just don't have enough officers to cover all the calls that they get. But when it's you or someone you know or someone you love, you need a quicker response. So how about 7 minutes or less? That's typically the response time for customers of International Protective Service. IPS has officers strategically placed all around Albuquerque, in Santa Fe as well. They react quickly. Often they catch criminals in the act. They detain them. They call the police. The police come and pick up the bad guys. IPS provides standing guards if you need eyes on your property around the clock or install alarms and camera systems. They got state-of-the-art facilities that monitor those cameras around the clock. It raises the level of security around your home and around your business. I've trusted IPS for years and years now. They watch my home. I trust them. They give me peace of mind, my family peace of mind, my neighbors as well. So who's watching your home when you're gone? Make sure it's the good guys and not the bad guys. You can't prevent it all, but if you've got no protection, you know you're more likely to be victimized. Don't wait until you're victimized. Be proactive. Call IPS at 505-897-2420. 505-897-2420. They're online at ipsglobal.com. Passionate about making Albuquerque and Santa Fe better and safer places to live and work.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Everguard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Everguard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Beat the Patriots 24-3 right here on the Sports Animal. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. We do a little thing on Fridays called 3 for All. We just it's not, hey, pick every game, not this is the game you got to pick. It's like how you would bet, right? If you went down to Isleta and you went to BetMGM down there and you were going to bet a few games. And that's what we do. We just take 3. And whichever 3, and we see how we're doing, and we realize we're not very good at it as we go through. And last week I was 3-0. I'm 5-4 on the season, but that includes going 2-2 in those college games to start. I almost want to throw those out, but we'll keep those. JJ went 1-2 last week. He's 3-6 on the season. You want to start or you want me to start? All right. I know last week I was super successful taking the big dogs. I don't know that I'm going to do that this week. I'm going to play the Ravens. I think the Ravens are going to beat the Cowboys. It's a 1-point spread. Ravens are on the road. I will take the Ravens -1 in Dallas.
Okay. Road favorite. I am going with the Pittsburgh Steelers. 1.5-point favorites at home against the Chargers. Justin Herbert is trending in the wrong direction. And I think this is going to be a low, slow game that the Steelers win and improve to 3-0.
All right. What's your second one?
Second one. I'll take a bigger number here.
All right.
I'll go with Buccaneers at home. They're 6.5-point favorites over the Denver Broncos. But I think they win that by a touchdown.
All right. I'm taking another favorite. And I'm going to, this is the one, it's funny, I got 4 games that I like. And so this is probably the one I should put away and not do. But I'm going to ride them while they're hot. I'm going to take the Saints at home, laying 2.5 against Philadelphia. I love the way they're playing right now. And I watch Philly's defense, and I'm not sure how they slow down the Saints right now. And then my third game, the one I'm not taking is the Rams laying 6.5 or getting 6.5 at home. I love thick dogs at home, but I'm not doing that because I try not to bet my favorite teams. I'm going to take Arizona +3 as a home dog against Detroit. I'm getting 3 with Kyler Murray at home against a Detroit team that really hasn't shown me very much yet.
I like that. I'm going to, similar to your first pick, I'm going with the road favorite.
Yeah.
And I will take the Houston Texans, 2-point favorites at Minnesota. Sam Darnold has been doing exactly what Minnesota had hoped, efficient, finding Justin Jefferson. I think even without Joe Mixon, this is
out for sure.
He's trending towards out at this point. The Vikings' run defense has been really good. So I think this is an opportunity for C.J. Stroud to showcase his weapons. He has the 3 really good targets. And the Texans will defeat the Vikings and cover as road favorites.
All right. So JJ's got the Steelers laying 1.5 at home against the Chargers. Tampa Bay laying 6.5 at home against the Broncos. And Houston laying 2 on the road at Minnesota. I took the Ravens -1 at Dallas, Saints -2.5 at home against Philly, and Arizona getting 3 as a home dog against Detroit.
I should flip that number on Tampa Bay if I wanted to win and take Denver at +6.5 because
why? I actually
you showed
like
last
where you
week
are.
that it was don't buy into the big numbers in the NFL because it's not been the play early in the season.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I'm watching. I know it's week to week. There were some really big numbers last week, but they were teams that I thought were decent. Like, do you think Denver? How's Denver going to score against them? Maybe they slow them down a little bit. I don't know. But all right, 505-246-0610. Love your thoughts. The Ohtani stuff. I don't know. Best single game performance ever. Last caller had a really good question. What's more impressive to you? First guy ever to go 50-50. He's at 51-51, stolen bases and home runs, or winning the Triple Crown. It's been done once since 1967. The 50-50 thing has never been done. The 6 guys in the 40-40 club are celebrated as unbelievable careers. I don't know that I think there's a wrong answer.
No, they all stack up as some of the greatest seasons ever. I love when someone brings something up that we haven't talked about or forget, because that stretch where Miguel Cabrera won the Triple Crown is, you could put up there as one of the best 5-year runs in baseball history. Like, he is, we're using this a lot this morning because we're talking about greatness. So when we're talking about greatness, we're going to use a lot of cliches. Miguel Cabrera is one of the best hitters to ever play the game. But that 5-year stretch that he had.
Okay.
Winning a Triple Crown.
I'm not sure I'm arguing with you.
Like, it's good to remember that, but I love, because we're looking for what stacks up, especially recent history, with a Shohei Ohtani, a 50-50 season, Aaron Judge, his home run chased last year a Triple Crown. So these are the debates when you're looking at, all right, how does it stack up?
Yeah. I'm again. I look at, gosh, one of the best single season ever offensively in history, right? I mean, period. Now, best ever? To your point, man. Look at some of the. Why the hell is that doing? Look at some of the Triple Crown years. Yeah. There's some great ones in there. All right, 505-246-0610. Other news this morning, Joel Embiid agreed to a 3-year extension with the Sixers. $192.2 million. $192.2 million for 3 years. That's about $64.3 per year. So, yeah, dude's making a lot. Jets 24, Patriots 3. Aaron Rodgers 27 for 35. You know what kind of got lost in this is Drake May's debut. And they threw him in at the end of the game. I've been reading, well, does this mean that they're changing quarterbacks? No, it means they were done. This is what teams do all the time. They pull their starting quarterback and put in their backup to A, save their starting quarterback, and B, get their backup quarterback some reps. Like, how did anybody read into this? This was a changing of the guard in New England. I mean, am I missing something here?
Because it's the number 3 overall pick in the draft, and the Patriots were dreadful last night, but Drake May's not the answer right now. It's an offensive line that all 5 of their starters on the injury report last night against a good front 7. That was already one of the worst graded offensive lines for the first 2 weeks of the season. Throwing Drake May in there right now, all you're doing is you're not improving your offense. You're saying, hey, kid, you get to get beat up, and hopefully you take some lessons out of this.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, go out and get your snaps and get your first pass, and we'll take your ball and put it away and put it on a shelf. And I don't even know how you judge how we looked last night. I mean, the offensive line is so bad. To your point, every single one of them was on the injury report. Against a really good defense. The quarterbacks got sacked 7 times yesterday. How am I even supposed to pretend I want to judge a guy on a last drive in a 24-3 game out there to get his ass kicked?
You can't. You can't. Because even if he was good, you'd have to take into account the situation. What were the Jets doing? Were they still bringing pressure? The game was over at that point in time. So there's no takeaways you can make other than he got on the field.
Yeah, and I'm reading people trying to dissect this performance. What performance, man? Dude was out there trying to survive in a bad game at the end of the game. Well, is this the changing of the guard? No. Like, what are we doing? When Stetson Bennett comes out for the Rams in a 24-3 game, is he replacing Matthew Stafford? No. It's my quarterback's out. I don't want to get him killed. Game's out of hand. I wave the white flag. I don't want to lose sight of the fact that the guy made his debut. Okay, that's great, and it's one of those things the family will remember. But, I mean, was it really his debut? Yeah, it was the first time he was in a real NFL game. But at some point, this young man will make his first start, and that'll be when it really matters. How you're drawing any conclusion from what you saw yesterday from Drake May? You're grasping, man. Like, you're really, really, really grasping for stuff. So, all right, WNBA season ended yesterday. Big crowds. Looking forward to the playoffs?
I'll be watching.
All right, what do I get? What do I got to watch the WNBA playoffs? Who's Caitlin playing?
Were the Indiana Fever playing?
No, who's Caitlin playing? Like everybody else, man. I'm just a lemming on it when it comes to this. And don't put it on Sunday against football, or Monday against football, or Thursday against football.
Gotta put it somewhere.
You understand where I'm going with this, right?
Atlanta, New York, Indiana, Connecticut, Phoenix, Minnesota, Seattle,
they get
Las
the Connecticut
Vegas.
sun. Connecticut. All right, we'll wrap it up. We get back in ready for the weekend. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Channel.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. Turbo Threads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for Turbo Threads.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. Our law firm was founded by my father, Thibaut J. Chavez, with one goal: to get New Mexicans the help they need. That's why we built a different kind of law firm. We focus on family values, dedicated service, and we make a real contribution by giving back to our communities. We can't change what happened to you or your loved ones, but we can help you get back on the road to recovery. We're by your side, and we're still as local as red and green.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All In Autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Covered all weekend for, well, the Topes, the National Football League, and all that stuff. Albuquerque Ice Topes playing 3 more games this season. You get them tonight right here on The Sports Animal. If you're looking for them over the weekend, they will be here on The Sports Animal tomorrow night, and then on Sunday, they wrap up their season over on the Big Stick, just like the old days of the Dukes with Mike Roberts over on News Radio KKOB, 2 o'clock on Sunday afternoon. What do we have for you here on The Sports Animal tomorrow? Well, 2 of the best fight songs in the history of fight songs. Is that fair? USC and Michigan?
Very iconic.
Notre Dame would be the other one of the three, right? I mean, those two bands, USC, Michigan. Addie's roommates of the Michigan band. It's kind of cool. I get a whole other perspective on that. But we get that for you 1 o'clock here on The Sports Animal, and that'll be followed up by the Topes. Over on News Radio KKOB tomorrow, 5:30 pregame, 6:30 kickoff from University Stadium, Lobos and Fresno State. J.J. Buck, Nedward, Abraham, James will have the pregame for you. And then Robert Portnoy and probably the best running back in the history of Lobo football, Dontrell Moore, will have the call. Sunday, Eagles Saints right here on the Sports Animal. That'll be your early game, mid-afternoon window, the Rams and Niners. And then the Sunday night football game, Chiefs and Falcons. Over on KTBL, the Pit, Panthers and Raiders. That is a 2 o'clock game. And then, of course, we have Monday Night Football. There's 2 games on Monday night. We'll have the Jaguars and Bills for you right here on the Sports Animal. Jeff Symbieta and J.J. Buck. What are people going to be talking about as you go through your day? Everybody's going to be talking about Ohtani. Shohei with maybe the best single game in the history of Major League Baseball. Jeff, stop it. No, listen to me. 6 for 6. 3 home runs. 10 RBI. Stole 2 bases. Scored 4 runs. Had 17 total bases. Oh, and in the process, went over the thresholds of the 50-50 home runs and stolen bases. The only player in the history of Major League Baseball to be over that threshold. He's at 51-51. So have a conversation. I understand hyperbole and recency bias. I've been very, very careful with this. JJ has as well. Nobody has come up with a better game. Now, is it the best offensive season ever? Maybe not. Miguel Cabrera in 2012 when he won the Triple Crown was amazing, right? Was a better feat that or the Triple Crown, hitting 62? All those are up for debate. Nobody, JJ, has come up with any compelling argument about a better single-game stat line in Major League Baseball.
Because it's a fantastic stat line.
I mean, you don't get that in Little League, dude. You know, that one kid that who's better than everybody, right? 6 for 6, 3 home runs. I mean,
you have that in Major League Baseball. And grown man against other grown man, and he's better than everybody.
I told you. How long have I been telling you this is that guy in Little League?
Yeah.
And the guy who pitches and yeah.
And if I do think that if he's cleared and healthy, he should see some time on the mound
in the playoffs. Let me ask you this: I'm trying to ask the question. I hate asking how important is. I hate those questions. But I don't know a better way to frame this. In the context of his season, and we have not seen Shohei Ohtani in the Major League Baseball playoffs because he played with the Angels. Is it important for him to perform well in the postseason to validate the season?
No.
Okay, so the regular season will be standalone. It's okay. So if he hits $137 and leaves a bunch of players stranded and they go out in the first round,
doesn't take away what he did in the regular season. To me, those are two different things. Now, when we're talking about a career and one of the best ever, yes, you're going to need to be able to back it up more than that. But to me, this does not diminish regular season.
Fair enough. So it's two different conversations. So it won't diminish the regular season, but you've said he's the best player you've ever seen, which nobody can argue with what you've seen. Okay, he is one of the best players that any of us have ever seen. Whether he's the best, that's fine. To continue that conversation about being one of the best ever, then he's got to perform in the postseason a bit. And this won't be his only postseason. Hell, he's with the Dodgers, and so they're there every year. But
I don't put as much weight on that as I do in other sports. You can't by yourself take a team to baseball.
What made Derek Jeter so great?
Because he was on the Yankees.
And he had great postseason performances.
But if Derek Jeter was on not the Marlins, because Marlins won 2 World Series.
No, but I get it. Right, but he did have
on those Angels all the years, he wouldn't be Derek Jeter.
He'd be Don Mattingly. Right? So Don Mattingly was a really, really, really good Yankee, but he was in that era where the Yankees weren't good. And so you never put him up with those Yankee greats because they didn't win championships. Ohtani at some point, and we all think he's got a million years left, but I mean, obviously everything's finite. I kind of think this being his first postseason, now I think the guy's going to perform. I just think that's who this guy is. I think he's just different. But I do put a little weight on this in the conversation of him being one of those all-time greats. Is he there yet? No, but is he on his way? We all believe so. And I think because, A, he's going to have opportunity in the postseason. What's the knock on Kershaw? Postseason performance, right? Now, we still say he's one of the great pitchers of this generation, and he is. But we don't put him in the greatest of all time category because why? Because Verlander's had success in the postseason because, other guys have. And I understand your point, and I tend to agree with you.
I'm not going to overanalyze his first postseason appearance.
Okay. All right. But what if he goes crazy? Then does it get weighted higher?
No.
Okay. I'm curious to see how he does in post. I think it's important. I do.
Like Derek Jeter was a really good player.
Mm-hmm.
He was never this dude in the regular season, so the postseason mattered to him.
That's my point.
That's what made him whatever. But I'm not. I can't say a person's not good. Like people all of a sudden are like, well, maybe Mike Trout's not as good as he was. Well, stop.
Right.
Stop. Like the Angels never got to the postseason, but that does not take away that he was one of the best outfielders we've seen play the game. Like,
I tend to agree with you on all that. But always when you have those GOAT arguments.
You can become a legend in the postseason. I get it. You play the game to win championships.
Aaron freaking Boone. Bucky freaking Dent. Yes.
But that doesn't, I'm not going to then say because in this sample size of 4 games, you might have got Cole that takes away what you did for 150.
I think I tend to agree with you. However, I think he can even raise his legend if he does well in the postseason. Thanks to Jason Thomas, the voice of the Ice Wolves. He was with us. Ben Gasparich, the head pro at Sandia Golf Club, was also with us. The Jim Rome Show is next. The Herd with Colin Cowherds after that. 2 Men On is here at 4. Isotopes in Reno after that. We're back Monday with award-winning radio. What a fun week, man. What a fun week. Adrian looked great, and thank you for all the visuals. He's got the Ice Wolves logo up there because it's so cool. Big weekend for you?
Huge weekend.
Enjoy it. Join JJ tomorrow over on News Radio KKOB. Him and Ned will have a pregame show for Level Football at 5:30 as you're out and about. Have a great, safe weekend, boys and girls. Be good to each other, please. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing, and we'll smell you on Monday. 4 decades of excellence. That is with the law office.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505 821-9543. Everguard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong and we're still as local as red and green.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.